This is Ecclesiasticus chapter 12, verse 10. Never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. Though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him, and thou shalt be unto him as if thou hast wiped away a looking glass, and thou shalt know that his rust hath not altogether been wiped away. I like to start off first and foremost by giving all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Ruach Kodesh. Double honor to the elders and the apostles, a great millstone who rule and teach well. Peace, love, salutations to those that are doing this work in truth and in sincerity. This is your brother Nathan Yala from the GMS Camp Atlanta, coming back at you through the Spirit with another lesson. And I pray and hope this lesson is edifying. Now, in this lesson, I'm going into this guy right here. His name is Shahid Bolson. And, he calls it out very well, and I'm gonna play this whole video because he personifies this precept. I can't say it better than what he's saying it, of the history of the so-called white man and how he infiltrates societies under the guise. As a matter of fact, get another precept, and then we're gonna go back to that. All right, so this is going to be 2 Corinthians 11 and 14. And it says, and marvel not, for Satan himself transforms into an angel of light. Okay. Verse 15, therefore it is no great thing if his ministers also be transformed as ministers of righteousness, whose end shall be according to their works. Okay. So as he's going to go into, when Esau appears to people, he appears under the guise of moral justice, moral innocence. Okay. He's the moral one. He's the one with the divine high ground, so to speak, the moral high ground, so to speak. Okay. And it's always that way. But then he's the one that comes into your society and rapes, kills, and pillage. And they use, your moral standards to infiltrate you. Okay. That's why you're not supposed to trust them, because, they're going to crouch down. They're going to be low. They're going to say those things that are comforting to you. And and we're finally getting to a point where the world is realizing that this man is a goddamn liar, and it's just in his nature to do these evil things. And lying and deception is part of his whole modus apparatus, his MO. Okay? That's he's that the treachery that comes with the so-called white man, and how he perpetuates the innocence and lies, and all these damn chimes coming up as I'm trying to do my lesson. All his lies. He comes with first to try to infiltrate you and allow you to open the door for him, kind of like that movie Sinners, where they had to invite them in, but once they're in, okay? And that's exactly what the MO of the so-called white man is. Once he's in, okay? And his job is to destroy, and like the thief cometh in to steal and destroy. But without further ado, let's let Shahid speak.
You have to understand that they use morals and they use values as a camouflage, as part of a hunting strategy to try to get close to you, to strike you. So when you see them saying things that you like, that's when you need to put your guard up, because they're trying to get close to you. That's all they're doing. They're just trying to get close to you. And when a Candace Owens or a Tucker Carlson or any of these other types starts talking about Palestine, and starts talking about Gaza, starts talking about the genocide, for one thing, as I've said many, many times, they will never talk about it in the context of, we are the ones doing it. We are the ones funding it. We are the ones arming it. We are the ones who have done nothing but provide political coverage for it. They never put it that way. They only talk about it in the context of trying to put the blame on their henchmen. They only ever put it in the context of trying to make us turn our anger and our resentment away from them towards someone else, rather than at the two of them. Yani, because we're talking about the crime boss and the henchman. They want us to only focus upon the henchman and not the crime boss. They're only ever trying to get close to you. So you have to understand this. Whenever they talk about morals and whenever they talk about values, it's a hunting strategy to get close to you, to strike you. So when you fall for it, you're going to get hit. You're going to get struck. That's the only reason that they're doing it. So you have to understand this very clearly. They don't believe in anything. This is incredibly important for you to understand. They are nihilistic. They don't believe in anything, and they never have, except for control and domination. This is, you can't look at the millennia of their history and then convince yourself, unless you're incredibly naive and gullible and suicidal, you can't look at their millennia of history and then say, oh, they've had a change of heart. No, they didn't. They just are losing you. They're losing you. They're losing their control over you, so they make certain concessions.
And this is why it's very important for Esau to control the narrative, because by him controlling the narrative, he effectively controls you. And that's what the whole point of this is. The lies and the manipulation and all that stuff is to control you. But all of this stuff is coming out, and we're gonna read that Ecclesiastes again. But I got another quick precept that came to mind. All right, so we're gonna go to the book of Isaiah, because this is all what was happening was a cloak. Okay, this was a cloak. This is the book of Isaiah 25:7, and it says, I will destroy in this mountain the face of the covering cast over all people, and the veil that is spread over all nations. You see this, Esau's evil is easy to see. This is how you know that this was a spiritual veil that was placed over the nations, because Esau, now that it's out, it's like, how the hell didn't we see this before? You see, how the hell didn't we not see this history before? Because it's his history, and what he does is really easy to see. Okay? It's not. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to see that this man's history is totally evil and wicked. You know, it's filled with just all. It's just filled with blood. Okay, it's filled with blood and everything abominable. You know, and now the Lord has removed that covering cast because it's judgment time. See, that's what the real deal is. The real deal is all of these things are happening because all you nations are getting your judgment. Okay? All of you nations are getting judgment from Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, whether it be for things that you did then or things that you're doing now. Okay? Against Jake, against his people. Salakia. All right? So the Lord is bringing a judgment to y'all. So before he brings judgment, the charges got to be, you know, you got to hear the charges of why. So you're hearing all of the charges of what this man has done from all of the other nations, right? So they're telling you, hey, he did this, he did this, he did this, he did that. So we're seeing the world reveal Esau, okay? So let's go to, let's get one more, then we're going to go back to this. One more. All right, so this is going to be Jeremiah 49:10. So this is Jeremiah, the book of Jeremiah 49:10. And it says, behold, I have made Esau bare. I have uncovered his secret places, and he shall not be able to hide himself. You see, all of this, what Esau was able to do in the past, how he was able to hide his wickedness. He can't hide his wickedness anymore. Okay? You can't hide your wickedness anymore because the Lord has made you bare. All right? This is I have made Esau bare. I have uncovered his secret places, and he is not able to hide himself. He is spoiled, and his brethren, and his neighbor, and he is not. He's not going to rise to power anymore. He's not going to complete his enterprise. You're seeing the systematic destruction of the Edomite kingdom in real time. Okay, in real time, and the Lord has made him bear. All right. So we're gonna play the rest of this video.
Through which they think they can get better access to you, they're losing their grip on your mind, they're losing their grip on your heart. So then they'll say nice words that appeal to you, that appeal to the values that you actually hold, just like a psychopath that has to learn what normal people feel, the normal morals that people have, the normal values that people have, the normal sentiments that people have, because they themselves don't have them. So they study them in other people like a predator so that they can sniff them out, and then they can mimic them to draw them closer to their prey. That's all they do. So when you hear them saying nice things about Gaza or nice things about the Palestinians or even nice things about Muslims, which you'll barely ever hear, but when you hear them say anything positive that appeals to your sensibilities, just know that it's a hunting strategy and nothing more, nothing less.
All right. So again, he said he pretty much quoted this precept, except with the Muslim thing. So I'm gonna read this again. It says this is Ecclesiasticus 12:10. It says, "Never trust thine enemy, for as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. Though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him, and thou shalt be unto him as if thou hadst wiped a looking glass, and thou shalt know that his rust had not altogether been wiped away." Because iron, you never, even if you use a method of electrolysis, right, to restore the iron, right, if you expose it to oxygen over time, it still will rust again. Okay, it is the nature of iron. So it's the nature of the so-called white man. He is inherently evil. He was genetically created to be the wicked. Okay? But the wicked don't want to be known as the wicked, as he said. So he has to disguise himself in order to get in. Because nobody wants to deal with somebody. Do you think I'm going to willingly have somebody over my shoulder that I know is going to kill me? That I know wants to hurt me? All right. Do you think that I'm gonna willingly have that over my shoulder? No. Sane-minded person would want that. Okay. So he has to use deception in order to get in. But you have to be wise enough to understand. As it says in verse 12, it says, "Set him not by thee." Okay. Least when he have overthrown thee, he stand up in thy place. You see that? And that's his whole goal. His whole goal is to take what you have. All right. That his whole goal is to take what you have. This is the book of Micah. Okay, 2:2. I'm gonna start at verse 1. It's woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it because it is in the power of their hands. They covet fields and take them by violence. You see, they want your stuff. Okay, let's look up this word covet real quick. We all know what it means, or we should know what it means, but just let's look it up for the sake of edification. Okay, it was Hamad.
Strong's H2530. Hamad.
It says to desire, to take pleasure in, delight in, okay? To be desirable. So it means to desire. They want your stuff. Okay? They want your stuff. They want what you have. They don't want the righteous energy of coveting something. Like, dang, man, I want to grow to be like him. I don't want what he has, but I want to grow to be like him. I want to have his integrity. I want to have his more. I want to have his, because the scriptures tell us as iron sharpeneth iron. Okay, so we covet those gifts that you have. We want that. We don't want yours. We just want to be able to do what you do. We want to learn. That's what we want. We don't want what you got. We want it for ourselves. You see, but no, this devil, he wants to take what you have. He wants to take your land. He wants to take your women. He wants to take your culture. Your culture. That's why it says he oppresses a house and taketh and he covet fields. I'm gonna read it again. This is Micah 2:2. And they covet fields and take them by violence, and houses and take them away. So they oppress a man and his house, even a man and his heritage. They take your heritage, your culture, okay? And they say those we are them, okay? They come peaceably. All right, I'll get that in Daniel. Okay. Okay, so he gonna take your heritage. He's gonna come to you peaceably. This is the book of Daniel 8:25, and it says, and through his policies, and it all links. Because when you go back to that Micah that I just read, it just says, "Woe to him that decree not that write grievousness upon their bed." This is all tying into that. It says, and through his policies, he shall cause craft to prosper in his hand, and he shall magnify himself in his heart, and by peace he shall destroy many. Coming down crouching. Okay. He shall also stand up against the prince of princes, but be broken without hands. And that's what we're seeing right now. We're seeing the beginning of the fall of Esau Edom and his wicked ass system. Okay. So I'm gonna read this Psalms. All right. It says, this is Psalms 55:20. It says, "He hath put forth his hand against such, be at peace with him," right? "By peace he shall destroy many, and have broken his covenant." Okay, now let's go back and listen to this again. All right, just listen to it one more time.
This is why I'm telling you, you have to understand that they use morals and they use values as a camouflage, as part of a hunting strategy to try to get close to you, to strike you. So when you see them saying things that you like, that's when you need to put your guard up. Because they're trying to get close to you. That's all they're doing. They're just trying to get close to you. And when a Candace Owens or a Tucker Carlson or any of these other types starts talking about Palestine, or starts talking about Gaza, or starts talking about the genocide, for one thing, as I've said many times, they will never talk about it in the context of we are the ones doing it.
All right, so let's go back to that Psalms again. It says, "The words he had put forth his hand against such as be at peace with him. He hath broken his covenant. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter." Yeah. We're here to help. We're here to take care of you. We're on your side. We're not your enemy. We're your friend. Just open up the door and let us in. We'll take care of you. Y'all know you're struggling. I know you got things going on, but we're gonna come in and we're gonna help. We're gonna make things so much better for you. That's what we're gonna do. Okay, just trust us. Trust us. Okay, and you say, you know what? You are so sincere. Let me let you in. Okay, that's why when you go back here to the Ecclesiasticus, let's read this. Let's finish. I know I'm jumping a little bit around here, but it's through the Spirit. It's verse 11. It says, "Though he humble himself," you see that. So when you go back here, it says, "The words of his mouth were smoother than butter." What does that sound like? It sounds like him humbling himself. And he go crouching. He's, I'll help you. I'm your friend. I'm here to take care of you. You can use my stuff. You can have all the resources I got. I got you. I got you. Look, just work with me. Just trust me. Trust me. Trust me. I'm going to take care of you. Do I look like the type that I hurt you? Look at me. I don't want what you got. I want to be your friend, man. We can work this thing out together. That's this devil. That's how he talks. Okay. And he does it so eloquently. He does it to where it's like, man, you sound so good. I really believe, but he's talking out of both sides of his mouth at the same time. It says, "Yet take good heed and beware of him, and thou shalt be unto him as if thou hast wiped a looking glass, and thou shalt know that his rust had not altogether been wiped away." You see that? He's never going to stop. Okay, so I'm going to read this 21 again. It says, "The words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but there was war in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet they were drawn swords." You see that? In his mind, he's setting you up. Lower your defenses. Allow me to infiltrate you, because I am not going to take my hand off my sword. I'm going to let you put your sword down. I'm gonna let you get comfortable. I'm gonna let you. I mean, total dishonor. It's a total. It's a totally dishonorable, despicable way to conquer a people. To do it through trickery. To allow them to lower their defenses through trickery and deception in order to conquer them. And then you call that strength. That's exactly what this. So you're not proving that you're the better man. You're proving that you're the man that can put forth more deception. That's all it is. That's all Esau does. Okay?
We are the ones funding it. We are the ones arming it. We are the ones who have done nothing but provide political coverage for it. They never put it that way. They only talk about it in the context of trying to put the blame on their henchmen. They only ever put it in the context of trying to make us turn our anger and our resentment away from them towards someone else, rather than at the two of them. Yani, because we're talking about the crime boss and the henchman. They want us to only focus upon the henchman and not the crime boss. They're only ever trying to get close to you. So you have to understand this. Whenever they talk about morals and whenever they talk about values, it's a hunting strategy to get close to you, to strike you. So when you fall for it, you're going to get hit. You're going to get struck. That's the only reason that they're doing it. So you have to understand this very clearly. They don't believe in anything. This is incredibly important for you to understand. They are nihilistic. They don't believe in anything, and they never have, except for control and domination. This is, you can't look at the millennia of their history and then convince yourself, unless you're incredibly naive and gullible and suicidal, you can't look at their millennias of history and then say, oh, they've had a change of heart. No, they didn't. They just are losing you. They're losing you. They're losing their control over you. So they make certain concessions through which they think they can get better access to you. They're losing their grip on your mind. They're losing their grip on your heart. So then they'll say,
they're losing their grip, period, okay? Because Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai is revealing this devil, okay? And that's why I brought out, he's not going to be able to hide himself because the Lord has made this man bare, okay? Now, I'm going to continue on with this because it says it, It says, who will pity a charm? This verse 13. Who will, Salakia. Verse 12, it says, set him not by thee, lest when he have overthrown thee, he stand up in thy place. Neither let him sit at thy right hand, lest he seek to take thy seat, and thou at the last, when your ass is on the bottom and you done lost everything you had, and this man done took everything that you ever had away from you with the iron fist, right? And you're gonna remember what I told you, and be pricked with it like, God damn, man, I should have listened. Okay. And it says, who will pity a charmer when he is bitten with a serpent, or any such as cometh nigh wild beast? You see that? So, hey, that's what your ass get. You didn't listen. So one that goeth forth to a sinner and is defiled with him in his sins, who will pity? Who will pity? You see that? So nobody ain't gonna care. That's why y'all getting what y'all getting right now. Because y'all align with this damn devil. Thinking that y'all were aligning with somebody who was going to be honest and upright. And look what's going on. Look what's happening. Y'all allowed them demons over into y'all land. Right? And look what they doing over there. Y'all made contracts with the United States of America. And y'all turned a blind eye and even participated in the oppression of the Israelites. Now look what's going on. Y'all celebrated when Jake was going through it. What do you think we supposed to do now, huh? What do you think we gonna do? You see? The so-called white man is not just the enemy of Israel. He's the enemy of everyone. Y'all just thought y'all had a place at his table. All right? Now y'all starting to find out that no, y'all didn't. Okay? And before this man go out, he gonna go out with a bang. All right? So with that, I pray this edifying lesson, ending it off by giving all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, L'chach Kodash. Until next time, I say Shalom.